So Barkley went after Kendrick Perkins bad in the pregame show. And, that's Perkins' fight to make, to have. That's not so much my business. And Perkins then basically was like, I'm easy to find. I'll stay out of that one. But what I won't stay out of is the hypocrisy of how some, and again, everyone loves Chuck. Everyone loves Chuck. Hand up, myself included. He is one of the most universally beloved and hilarious, successful, awesome sportscasters in history. All that is true. What's also true is he, like a lot of others, has a real blind spot, if you even want to call it that, when it comes to LeBron, and in Chuck's case, more specifically, when it comes to the Lakers. And I'm not some lifelong Laker fan. People can criticize me for this, but I've always been transparent about it. I'm the same high school class as LeBron. High school basketball team, my senior year, we would all get together at my house and watch St. Vincent St. Mary's play because we thought it was, whenever they were on ESPN, because we thought it was so cool that guys our age were on ESPN playing. We even tried to like maybe we can run some of the plays they're running. Turns out having the 17-year-old future GOAT allowed them to run some offense we couldn't run for small Midwestern private school I went to. Neither here nor there. The reason I bring that up is Kansas City didn't have a basketball team. I actually grew up as a little kid a Knicks fan because my mom was from New York. But by the time I was in high school, I didn't really have a team. And I just said at that moment, listen, this guy on St. Vincent St. Mary's, LeBron James, he's my favorite player. And wherever he goes is where I'll go. So I have been one of those people. Who do I root for? Whichever team LeBron's on. And people laugh at that, whatever, say it's bad fandom. I don't care. What I owe the audience is honesty. Oh, yes, I was saying he had a blind spot for the Lakers. The reason I even mentioned that is I'm not some lifelong Laker fan, but I've been a Laker fan the last 7 years since LeBron's been there. And Chuck, all year long, has said basically the Lakers are a non-story. The Lakers are, they are discussed because they're the Lakers and because the media is obsessed with LeBron and for no other reason. And listen, when the Lakers started 4-4, it's like, maybe he's going to be right. And then when they were 13-12, it's like, okay. It's probably just a mediocre team, and LeBron wasn't really at the first month of the season wasn't playing great. But then before they traded for Luka, the day they traded for Luka, they were 29-19 and on a nice run. And that was with Anthony Davis having been out some games. And the narrative was still the Lakers are not to be taken seriously. Fine. They weren't a championship contender before they traded for Luka. But then after they traded for Luka, some folks, none louder than Chuck, doubled down on it. Said the Mavs would be better this season. The Lakers should consider, for as much as Chuck killed ESPN for just talking about the Lakers, couple days after the Luka trade, Chuck went on ESPN and started talking about that the Lakers should trade LeBron to Golden State or to San Antonio. Just fan fiction Laker trades. But again, set that aside. Doubled down that this team still was not a real threat. And then last night, before the game, when he's ripping Perk, he says, because they've had a good 2 weeks, we're all falling over ourselves about the Lakers. Guys, they have been, by a record standpoint, by a defense standpoint, the best team in the league for 6 weeks. They went from 22-18 to 40-21 in that stretch, beating Boston, Golden State, the Knicks, the Clippers, Golden State, Denver, Minnesota, the Clippers, the Knicks. 10 teams that are definitive playoff teams. I'm not even including Dallas in that because I shouldn't include Dallas in that. So 10 wins. Their only losses, one was to Philly, got beat badly, and then the loss right before the break against Utah was in just a brutal game for the Lakers where Luka really struggled and LeBron really struggled, and then the unforgivable game right after the break to the Hornets. But they're 18-3 in the last 6 weeks. And so before the game, it was they've had a good 2 weeks. At halftime, it was a damn party. Oh, they're going to be crying tomorrow about the Lakers. And then after the game, looked like someone had just repossessed his car. And Kenny is trying to talk about how the Lakers potentially match up against the Thunder, and Charles won't even let him do it. Charles is like, well, they got to get there, and that is true, they got to get there, but it is pretty common practice to talk about how the 1 seed and the 2 seed would match up in the conference finals. And folks can have wanted this to not work. Folks can have just been loud and wrong. Again, got to be fair here, even though I love him. As Chuck was the loudest and wrongest about Luka and LeBron fitting together. Everyone's wrong on stuff. I said Jason Tatum was the 5th best player in his draft class. People are, and that's just one of 100. But in the face of being that wrong, to not give an inch and to just keep moving the goalposts, it's transparent. And people do start to wonder why. I understood you say, and one other thing I got to say. Chuck being like, we need to talk more about the Thunder and the Cavs. That's probably a fair point. It's a weird messenger. Does anyone really think that he's watching a ton of Thunder and Cavs? Does one of the reasons everybody loves him is because things like who he played for are so hilarious. Does anyone really think he's naming more than 4 Thunder or Cavs? It feels disingenuous. This episode of What's Right is brought to you by Daya Pizza, featuring dairy-free cheese made with their new Daya Oat Cream Blend. Dairy-free cheese come a long way, and Daya is leading the charge. Their pizzas offer the melt and stretch of traditional cheese without any dairy. Each Daya pizza starts with a perfectly crisp crust, layered with savory, satisfying toppings, and finished with cheese that melts and stretches beautifully. The Daya Oat Cream Blend delivers a creamy, cheesy texture that's indistinguishable from dairy-based options. Every pizza crafted to be dairy-free, making it a great choice for anyone seeking more inclusive meal options without compromising on taste. Daya takes the concept of dairy-free to a new level, eliminating faux moo. It's not the fear of cows, that is the fear of missing dairy. These pizzas deliver delicious taste and texture, making them perfect for any occasion, from casual dinners to game day spreads. Enjoy a faux moo-free pizza night with Daya. Visit DayaFoods.com for more information, or find Daya Pizza at retailers like Whole Foods, Kroger, and Walmart. Coming soon to select Publix and Sprouts. Follow Daya on Instagram and TikTok for more updates and recipes. And before I go, one last thing. I mentioned this on Thursday's pod. I'll mention it again. Because the other thing Chuck did was rip anybody who's engaging in the LeBron Jordan debate. You guys have noticed, right? You guys have noticed how much ground has been ceded to where now people are just like, I don't want to have the fight anymore. No. Let's just, you know what? They're both great. Not that long ago, from these same exact people, this is what you heard. LeBron versus Michael. When did LeBron pass Kobe? All right? 5-4. Wait, you guys are putting him against Michael. When did he pass Kobe? You heard that. Then a little time passed and it became this. Listen, now it's hating on LeBron to call him the second greatest player ever. Yes, we all know he's the second greatest player ever, but he's no Michael Jordan. And now two different things have happened. One is this. You know what? Let's just not have the argument anymore. They're both great. It's too hard to parse. Let's just agree to disagree. That's happening. And the other thing that started with the Steph conversation is trying to muddy what, you know what? Everybody's a GOAT. Steph's a GOAT. Kobe's a GOAT. LeBron's a GOAT. Kareem's a GOAT. Michael's a GOAT. They're all GOATs. They know they've lost the argument. And so they're trying to say, now that I've lost the argument's dumb. And in fact, everybody's a winner in it. We see what you're doing.